When it comes to naming billionaires worldwide, America is leading the pack with 902 billionaires, with Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, and Mark Zuckerberg clinching the top 3 spots, respectively. In Asia, China leads with 516 billionaires, followed by India, which boasts of 205 billionaires. However, Nigeria is home to the wealthiest people in Africa. Not too long ago, Forbes released the list of billionaires worldwide, and at least 6 persons of Nigerian heritage made it. Of course, we know you know that the one and only Aliko Dangote is on that list. But do you know how much the Kano business magnate is now worth? Do you know his position on the list and how he doubled his wealth in only a few years? Sadly, Davido's billionaire father and banking wizkid Toni Elumelu were missing from this list. Some also ask why there are no Igbo businessmen on the list. Despite people like Cubana Chief Priest shouting money na water and Obi Cubana cashing out bundles of $100 bills and packing them up like leaves at events. If you're curious like some of us, grab your popcorn because we're about to spill the tea as we introduce you to the 5 other Nigerians repping the motherland.
What's good, guys? It's T-Code here for African Glitz.
Aliko Dangote. The billionaire businessman who recently celebrated his 68th birthday was born into one of the wealthiest and influential families in Kano State. In 2008, after years of building his business empire with investments mainly in cement manufacturing, Dangote was named Nigeria's first billionaire by Forbes magazine with a net worth of $3.8 billion. At the time, the CEO of Dangote Group was 50 years old. In 2013, Aliko Dangote hit yet another feat as the first African to accumulate a net worth of $20 billion. Industrialists have come a long way since then. Amidst an unstable market, crazy government policies, and fierce competition, Dangote started building Africa's largest oil and gas refinery in 2013, investing $23 billion in the mega project. In 2024, the refinery launched operation and boosted its fortune by $10.5 billion. As of March 2025, Forbes named the oil magnate the wealthiest black person with a net worth of $23.9 billion. That's not all. The billionaire is now one of the top 100 wealthiest person on earth and peaked at number 83 on the official list. In 2024, Dangote was benched by South Africa's businessman Jonah Rupert, who was named the wealthiest African. At the time, Forbes valued the industrialist's net worth at around $13 billion, and he peaked as the 114th wealthiest person in the world. By 2026, experts project that the billionaire's net worth may double again, putting him among the top 50 wealthiest people alive. Dangote's current net worth is primarily from his cement and sugar business. The industrialist is yet to recoup the return on investment from his refinery. But this is expected to happen because Dangote refinery fuel is said to be the best in Nigeria and most sought after in the country, bolstering partnerships with companies like MRS Oil, Adova, and Hebden Petroleum. Notably, the refinery has been exporting fuel to America and other countries. Mike Adenuga. At age 26 in 1976, this self-made billionaire made his first ever $1 million selling cloth fabrics and distributing soft drinks. But you all know that saying, big thinkers do not stagnate, they do bigger things. In 2003, Adenuga launched Globacom and grew it into the second largest network operator in Nigeria with over 60 million subscribers. Since then, the chairman of Corn Oil has continued to diversify his assets. Adenuga, who also serves as the chairman of Corn Oil, owns 74% of the publicly traded gasoline firm and just under 6% of the Nigerian bank Sterling Financial Holding. It's no surprise that as of 2024, the billionaire was worth $6.7 billion. But as of March 2025, the founder of Globacom added $100 million to his fortune, placing his current net worth at $6.8 billion. Today, at 72, Adenuga is the 5th richest person in Africa. Abdul Rabiu. Just like Aliko Dangote, this 64-year-old billionaire comes from one of the wealthiest families in Kano State. But as you may have guessed, Rabiu's success has been less about privilege and more about hard work and business expertise. Precisely 32 years after establishing Bua Group, a Nigerian conglomerate active in cement production, sugar refining, and real estate, the industrialist made it to the Forbes list in 2020 with a net worth of $3.2 billion. Since then, the conglomerate has witnessed massive expansion, especially after Rabiu merged his privately owned Obu Cement Company with Cement Co. of northern Nigeria. Today, the billionaire, known for his unrivaled business intelligence, owns 98.2% of the combined firm, Bua Cement plc, and 95% of the publicly traded food conglomerate, Bua Foods. These assets place Rabiu's current net worth at $5.1 billion. What is it about Kano and producing billionaires? Bayo Ogunlesi. Although an American citizen, this lawyer and investment banker, also known as Bayo, is from Shagamu, Ogun State. The 70-year-old banking wizkid is the son of Theophilus Ogunlesi, the first Nigerian professor of medicine at the University of Ibadan. As you may have guessed, Ogunlesi spent his early years in Nigeria. The businessman attended King's College, Lagos, before moving to the UK to study at Oxford University and later Harvard Law School at Harvard Business School. Since then, Bayo has been building his wealth brick by brick. Ogunlesi is the founding partner, chairman, and CEO of Global Infrastructure Partners (GIP), a New York-based private equity firm. In October, BlackRock acquired GIP for $12.5 billion in cash and shares. This success now placed Bayo's net worth at $2.2 billion, making him the 11th richest black person. With this kind of money, it's no wonder Afrobeat superstar Burna Boy paid tribute to Ogunlesi in his 2020 hit song, Wonderful. Femi Otedola. This 62-year-old billionaire businessman believes balance is key. He works and plays hard.
Every day, holiday. Hey, my people, I wanna day. We day, okay. Every day, Who is your daddy? God.
This approach is likely the reason for his growing wealth. Otedola's journey to becoming the 4th richest man in Nigeria and the 16th in Africa didn't start today. Known for his strategic entry into lucrative industries, the oil magnate popularly called Otedola made his first fortune dominating the diesel market in Nigeria with his company Xenon Petroleum and Gas Limited. While some would say he enjoyed some privileges as the son of the late Sir Michael Otedola, who served as governor of Lagos State from 1992 to 1993, others have praised his business acumen, citing how he restructured his investment portfolio with Ote Oil and then left the oil and gas industry for the power generation business. The savvy businessman is the chairman of Geregu Power, one of Nigeria's most profitable power generation companies. Forbes said Otedola owns more than 70% of Geregu Power shares while holding substantial shares in Zenith Bank and FBN Holdings. This impressive portfolio puts the father of four's net worth at $1.5 billion. Now you know why he's called Otedola. Tope Awotona. For every business that has benefited from Calendly, an automated software for scheduling meetings, they have Tope Awotona to thank. Like Bayo Ogunlesi, the techpreneur was born in Nigeria and spent his early years in Lagos. Unfortunately, when Awotona was 12, his father was unalived in a carjacking, forcing his mother to relocate him and his siblings to the US. The family settled in Atlanta, Georgia, where the businessman would go on to get a solid foundation for his bright future. Awotona started his high-flying career in the sales department of EMC, formerly Dell EMC. but he was constantly frustrated by the difficulty of scheduling sales calls and meetings. This led to the development of Calendly in 2013, which was launched from Atlanta Tech Village. In 2021, Calendly was valued at 3 billion naira. Barely 4 years later, Forbes estimated Awotona's net worth at 1.4 billion naira. Today, the now US citizen is the youngest black billionaire of Nigerian origin at 43. While Nigerians are raising their shoulders for producing the wealthiest black people in the world, some have been calling out Forbes for excluding the likes of Adedeji Adeleke, the father of Afrobeat music superstar Davido, and Toni Elumelu. In fact, fans of the astute businessman think Forbes was partial and that there is a mistake somewhere. But Forbes was not mistaken at all. Though hardworking and intelligent, the two businessmen do not qualify for the list. There is only one reason. Their net worth is not up to the $1 billion mark. According to Forbes, they used stock prices and exchange rates to estimate the net worth of billionaires who made it to the 2025 list. If you noticed, all 6 billionaires own and hold controlling business shares, and it looks like Toni Elumelu and Adedeji Adeleke cannot brag about the same feat. Davido's 68-year-old father is the CEO of Pacific Holdings Limited, a diversified conglomerate boasting investment in banking, Pacific Merchants Bank, education, civil engineering, energy and power generation, manufacturing, agriculture, trading, freight services, gas, and real estate. In October 2024, Dr. Adeleke revealed that he was building the biggest power plant in Nigeria.
I'm a businessman in Nigeria. I'm in the electricity business. I own power plants. I generate presently about 15% of the electricity need for Nigeria. I'm building, almost completed by January, by the grace of God, my new power plant that will be the biggest thermal plant in Nigeria. It's a 1,250 megawatts power plant will become operational.
According to the founder of Pacific Energy, it is worth $2 billion. However, the president of Adeleke University added that he had a Chinese investor who pulled funds for the mega project. So, there goes your answer. Davido's dad is not the majority shareholder in his companies. Over time, perhaps, Adeleke's wealth may accumulate to $1 billion or more. Toni Elumelu is no different. The founder of Hess Holdings and group chairman of Transcorp and United Bank for Africa (UBA), may own controlling shares in these companies, but he does not own the majority of the shares. For instance, United Bank for Africa (UBA) is valued at $18.9 billion, but Elumelu reportedly holds only 7.43% of the stake. This pattern appears similar in Transcorp, despite Elumelu allegedly backstabbing his friend Otedola to gain the upper hand in the conglomerate. Regardless, with his hard work, focus, and consistency, these businessmen will soon join their colleagues on the Forbes list. Reacting to the list, an ex-social media user asked, "Have you seen the figures they used in rating those four? Otedola is worth $1.4 billion, while Adeleke has spent $2.5 billion on a project is yet to complete. Use your head like that." Another ex-user said those who made it to the Forbes list do not employ ethical business practices. "Most billionaires you see, their hands are not clean. Now their heartlessness and corruption keep them on the top list. In Nigeria's case, it's the monopoly from the government that makes them billionaires." On the other hand, many have expressed disappointment that no single Igbo businessman was included in the recent Forbes rating. Why is there no Igbo man on the top 10 richest Nigerian list, even with all their ambitious drive? Well, an ex-user tried to demystify the reason for this. First, many Igbo businessmen engage in the nature of business which primarily involves trade, spare parts or electronics, commerce, transportation, and hospitality. According to Forbes, the top 5 industries likely to produce billionaires are finance and investment, technology, manufacturing, fashion and retail, and food and beverage. The second reason is proximity to the government. According to the ex-user, Easterners have been the farthest from the center of government influence, particularly not producing a president since the beginning of the Fourth Republic in 1999. The third reason is the after effect of the Biafran War. According to the ex-user, the wealth of most Igbo businessmen is less than 50 years old or not more than 2 generations old. This is because the Biafran War crumbled the wealth of the Igbos and they had to rebuild and are still rebuilding. After the Nigerian Civil War, 1967 to 1970, the Nigerian government implemented a policy that limited all Biafrans to just £20 in their bank account, regardless of previous wealth. This wiped out many established businesses and family fortunes, forcing Igbo businessmen to start over from scratch. These are wrote. Regardless, a Forbes Africa piece from 2017 highlighted the small Nigerian town of Nnewi that has more Naira billionaire per capita than anywhere else in the country. Notably, the article pays homage to Louis Odumegwu Ojukwu, who is believed to be the first ever billionaire in Nigeria, perhaps the wealthiest black man of his time. When he died in 1966, Ojukwu's wealth was an estimated $4 billion in today's economic value. The legendary businessman is also the father of late Biafran leader Chukwuemeka Odumegwu Ojukwu. At the height of his success, Ojukwu became the first and founding president of the Nigerian Stock Exchange and president of the African Continental Bank. But people like ex-influencer Daniel Rega are not impressed that Nigeria is repping on the world map. Forbes 2025 billionaires list, a country that's crippling with hardship and a high poverty rate. Again, you know there is a problem with the system. When the same people often top the list, zero room for competition or growth. Not impressed, he wrote. But influencer Reno Omokri says it's proof that Nigeria is the giant of Africa. So, tell us, what do you think about the top 6 Nigerians on the Forbes 2025 list? Do you think Dangote is an inspiration in these zeitgeist? What do you think of Toni Elumelu and Adedeji Adeleke not making the list? Was Forbes partial, or are they not rich enough? Why do you think there is no Igbo man on the list? Finally, do you agree that the Forbes 2025 billionaires are proof that Nigeria is the giant of Africa?
Let's head to the comment section to share our opinion. If you enjoyed this video, please like and share with your loved ones. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you can be notified when we drop a new video. Thanks for watching. It's Tikud here, and I'll see you again soon.